I think this is to take the attention away from the Vince McMahon issue. I think this is far outdrawing in people's minds the McMahon thing, because it's like a politician. When he doesn't want to talk about something, they swerve something and make it a different topic. This is so strong, people weren't thinking that week or that time about the whole McMahon thing.
Let's talk about another company in professional wrestling. And this time we're going to talk about TNA, because after our show just recently that we recorded, we found out that Scott D'Amore was removed from TNA. Bill, what's the latest on that? And do you have any idea what brought all that on?
First of all, I really was annoyed that they said he was fired. The company did not have to be that brutal in their press release. They could
Unless
say
it was warranted, though, Bill. It may have been warranted. That's what I'm wondering.
That's right. He might have deserved that. We don't really know we don't know it all yet.
It's still, right. But I still think it was too harsh. They could have said they've parted ways with him. They've let him go, but that they fired. I spoke to him the day after. He said he and his family are okay. What's come out in reports is that he wanted to purchase the company, and they didn't want him to. And I think some of the wrestlers backstage were saying that, the company can't exist without his direction, so to say. So I don't know. I know Scott D'Amore really, really, really well, and he's always been a solid, good, yes, sir, no, sir. He's been a great guy. So if there's anything, there can't be anything evil out of this whole thing.
Well, one of the things that I found strange was that the person taking over the position for Scott D'Amore has zero wrestling background. That's not a good sign.
Welcome, Jim Hurd. Right, Teddy?
That's not a good sign. You've gotten all this momentum going for TNA right now because they have kind of rebranded themselves and made themselves more palatable to, the viewers.
It was like the guy that they had with, was he with Impact, the Hunter guy?
Jim Hurd, back at WCW.
I'm not talking about Jim Hurd. I'm talking about in TNA, they had a guy that was booking Hunter, was his name or something? Ring of Honor, he was with one of them, TNA or Ring of Honor, some of them. But going back to what Mac said, he's a guy that had not a clue about storylines or drawing any money, and he was in charge.
Yep, and now we got another company that way. And I just think all the momentum and with the investment and time that they did to rebuild the brand, it just seems like a strange time to yank your creator.
Well, there was some comments that because of him bringing in Dolph Ziggler and some of the other talent, that he was overspending on the budget. So once that happens, and that might be the reason why, once that happens, we'll find another way to do this at a lower budget cost.
Well, that's large companies for you. All right, before we get out of here, I'm bring up one more topic here, and I want to talk about The Rock. Recently, The Rock was in Las Vegas with Cody and everybody else.
Who?
What'd you say? Who?
Bill, who? You get him every time.
Don't I?
You get him every time.
But it doesn't matter who we're talking about.
The Rock, though, he did come out and he turned heel, apparently, in Las Vegas. I'm going to tell you something. I have said this in the beginning, and I know a lot of people thought I was crazy, but I kept thinking that was going to happen. I saw The Rock turning heel, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more. If I had the pencil, and I want y'all to kind of pick this apart, add to it, whatever you think. We got a few minutes to kind of fantasy book this, but here's what I got right so far, and here's what I've been thinking actually for a few weeks. I think we're going to end up with Cody versus Roman as it's being advertised right now. And then I think we're going to see Seth and Rock go one-on-one. Then at that point, I think we might see both Rock and Roman lose their matches, allowing for the babyface pops and the happy feels at the end of the night. And then I think after WrestleMania, we're going to see a fight for the head of the table because there's going to be friction between Roman and Rock about both of them losing their matches. Friction happens, and then we start seeing who is the real head of the table. And that's kind of where I see things going. You guys?
I think that The Rock is going to wind up, and again, it's nothing I know, I think he's going to wind up because of his position on the board of directors as the referee between Cody and Roman Reigns. And he's going to try and screw Cody, and Seth Rollins is going to make the save, and Cody's going to pin Roman. And then Roman and The Rock get into it with each other possibly. But that's where I think it's going to go.
And I do think, Teddy, that we may eventually see, I think we're going to see the entire Bloodline and more members come into the scene as one large unit that will be fighting against Triple H and the WWE. I think we're going to see a faction war here. That's what I'm starting to get a feel for. What do you think, Teddy?
I love it. I see the Bloodline being like an insurrection.
Yeah,
just completely taking over, just wiping out everybody. And that's the way it should be. That's what we need right now. You know what I mean? So,
but it's real.
Yeah, it's real. That's what I'm saying. Right.
NWO all over again.
That's what I think we're heading to. I think we're heading to another one of those type of situations.
I hope so.
Between The Rock and Triple H on the microphone with promos and everything else, kind of, bantering back and forth, it means The Rock doesn't have to do anything but just appear on camera, just like Triple H. And you'll also give a lighter schedule to someone like Roman Reigns, who obviously has been getting that for the last year or two. So I think it solves a lot of problems, and I think it's going to become something that's going to be must-see TV. I really do.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed seeing him turn heel. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Because he can do it. You know what I mean? He's the only guy that can go both ways. You know what I mean? And get away with it.
And he did it in such a way when he turned to Cody and he said, "When you talk about his grandfather, that's my grandfather. And now, what was his line? And now
we have a problem.
Yeah, now we have a problem."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that move, I got goosebumps.
That's real.
The camera angle,
let me ask you guys.
Everything was perfect.
A lot of people say that they still were testing the waters, even live during that they were trying to see where the fans were actually going to swing, and that maybe The Rock kind of made his choice of what he was going to do based on the response in there. Do you feel like WWE knew going in where they were going, or do you think they're still playing the guessing game? No,
I think they knew it.
I do too.
Do you know why? I think this is to take the attention away from the Vince McMahon issue. I think this is far outdrawing in people's minds the McMahon thing, because it's like a politician. When he doesn't want to talk about something, they swerve something and make it a different topic. This is so strong, people weren't thinking that week or that time about the whole McMahon thing. And that's great for TKO and WWE. Yep.
I agree. All right, we're about out of time here. Teddy, anything coming up for you need to talk about?
I'll be this weekend on Saturday. I'll be in Providence, Rhode Island there for the big New England Fan Fest. I'll be there along with Ron Simmons and some other great superstars. So we'll look to see everybody on Saturday, player.
Get right next to Ron. You got to get sitting right next to Ron.
You know, me and Ron are always at the same table.
You're going to have the video call me with Ron sitting there. I want to hear him selling somebody something. That is so funny. If you've never seen Ron Simmons at one of these conventions when he's selling photographs and autographs and all the other stuff, it is fun to watch. He is a master salesman.
I learned so much from him and Rikishi. Rikishi is another one you learn a lot from too, man.
Yep. Bill, you've got a new show coming up, I see.
Well, it's not a show. No.
What is it?
This is a for the people that loved what I did on in the magazines. There has been a newsletter put out by Sportskeeda, and if you go to Sportskeeda /newsletters, you can subscribe for free, and every Wednesday is the special Bill Apter news report. It's exclusive photos of mine, it's exclusive stories, it's quizzes, it's trivia, it's a lot of fun. So go to Sportskeeda /newsletter and subscribe. And by the way, it's not Sportskeeda, which so many people think it is. It's SPORTSKEEDA. All right.
Sportskeeda.
Yes, Sportskeeda. Do you know what that means?
I do. It's like a worm.
Yes.
Earworm.
No, Keeda means like worm. So if it was a book show, it would be Bookkeeda. So yeah, this is Sportskeeda.
All right. That's it. We're out of time. Bill, you don't have anything else coming up, do you?
I do. I have coming up in a few weeks at Big Time Wrestling in Chillicothe, Ohio. I'll be hosting a convention over there, and about 50 legends will be there. And the first time ever RVD against Matt Riddle on that same show.
And
Yeah.
I will be doing the grand opening of Daisy's Ice Cream Shop right around the corner here, and I'm looking forward to that. All right, we're out of time.
Do they have chocolate mint ice cream? I mean, I might show up.
I'm back, Davis.
I should come down. I need to come down for that just to get an ice cream cone.
I will do that, definitely.
I'm back, Davis. I'm your host, and that is my two co-hosts. Every week we have a great time like this all the time. Mr. Bill Apter and Teddy Long. We'll see you next week.
Holla!
See you at the matches.